Good evening and welcome to Ignite News on 6 at 6. It's Friday, July 18th, 2025. I'm Rihanna Nikram. Thanks for joining us. Here are the headlines. Ghana's development bank will be state-led. Chevron secures control of Hess's stake in Ghana's oil-rich Stabroek block after winning arbitration. APNU has finalized its manifesto, promising people-focused policies shaped by 4 years of public engagement. And Berbicians being prepared for tourism. The planned development bank will be a state-led initiative, not a private sector project, Vice President Dr. Doggy said on Thursday. Speaking at his weekly press conference, Dr. Doggy said the government has already decided on the seed capital for the bank and how it will be sourced.
We already have a concept in mind how it will operate, the seed capital needed to start it off, everything. We're not like the other parties. When we make a promise, we know what we're about. We're moving towards this. This is not private sector initiative. It will work in collaboration with the private sector. So for example, if like you have a merchant bank now, a new merchant bank, we may be able to raise, a person may be able to raise part of the capital from us, from that is the development bank. And if the project is bigger, then maybe another part from a merchant bank.
Dr. Doggy said the bank's terms would differ significantly from those offered by commercial banks and could help de-risk loans, making private lenders more comfortable extending credit. He said the focus will be on small and medium-scale enterprises, while large companies will continue to access financing through merchant banks and other international institutions. Legislation has already been amended to allow representative offices of major global financial institutions to operate in Guyana without setting up full banks. Citi has indicated interest in establishing such an office, Dr. Doggy said. He added that the work on the development bank is expected to begin in 2026 if the government is re-elected. Chevron could now move ahead with its US $53 billion acquisition of Hess after winning a legal fight with ExxonMobil over Ghana's prized oil fields. The ruling by the International Chamber of Commerce clears Chevron to take over Hess's 30% stake in the Stabroek block, home to more than 11 billion barrels of oil. Exxon and China's CNOOC Hess partners in Ghana had filed for arbitration, claiming they had the first right to buy Hess's share, but the tribunal sided with Chevron. Exxon says it disagrees with the decision but will not appeal, citing its responsibility to shareholders and to Ghana's oil development. Chevron has already laid the groundwork for a fast transition, expecting to close the deal within 48 hours of the ruling and fully integrate Hess operations in 45 days. The outcome marks a major win for Chevron CEO Mike Wirth, who sees Ghana as a key to the company's future. As part of the government's plan to build a modern city away from the coast called Silica City, investors have already shown interest in building a world-class hospital there. Speaking at the PPC rally in Kurukuru on the Linden-Susdijk Highway on Thursday, President Dr. Mohammed Irfan Ali said this new development will become a destination for people traveling to Ghana to access a wide range of healthcare services.
Already, we have investors for Silica City who will be building an international hospital that will bring in services and provide services for tourism, health tourism, medical tourism that will be built right here on the Linden-Susdijk Highway.
Medical tourism means people from other countries travel abroad for medical treatments because of the high quality offered. The hospital, the president said, will help Ghana benefit from this growing practice. Silica City, President Ali's vision, will be Ghana's first tech-advanced city and is planned to house more than 15,000 families. Along with the hospital, the city will feature a top-tier indoor arena to boost sports tourism, similar to what we see with the Caribbean Premier League and Global Super League.
The new indoor arena will be constructed right here on the Linden-Susdijk Highway in Silica City that is going to bring international artists and international events. What are all these things going to do? They're going to create economic expansion. They're going to create jobs. They're going to open up new opportunities. They're going to build prosperity. And they're going to give you a better prospect in life.
Since taking office in 2020, the PPC government has started building 12 new hospitals. 2 are already open and 5 more are set to be commissioned soon. If there was ever a perfect champion for biodiversity on the global stage, that champion is Guyana. That is according to Kaveh Zahidi, Director of the Office of Climate Change, Biodiversity and Environment at the Food and Agriculture Organization, FAO. Speaking on the latest edition of United by Biodiversity, the Alliance podcast, earlier today, Zahidi said the world is in urgent need of sharp, solution-driven leadership, and Guyana is stepping up. He praised the country's strong record in safeguarding its green assets while pursuing economic development, calling it a model worth emulating. He believes Guyana's approach offers vital lessons for global partners, and is confident the nation will help shape impactful dialogue at the upcoming Global Biodiversity Alliance Summit, slated for July 23rd to the 25th.
Guyana is already a leader, and it must be, right? It's a biodiversity hotspot. It is the home of such a large part of the world's known biodiversity, as you call it, the green assets, the green treasures that it is a custodian of, the plant species, the fish species, the bird species, the mammals. It really is a biodiversity hotspot. So to have Guyana stand up and to lead this conversation about biodiversity is of course absolutely the right thing. It is already, as I said, a leader. And to have Guyana, a country with so much of biodiversity assets, take this strong position of how can we deliver on our biodiversity commitments, on the global biodiversity framework included, and how can we find the means to do so, right? Including the financing means is critical.
He added that finding the financing means and sustainability are also critical steps.
One issue that I very much hope that Guyana will put at the heart of the conversation and at the heart of the alliance and of course of the implementation agenda is what I said, is the sustainable use of biodiversity. At the end of the day, the biodiversity has to also work in symbiosis with development, right? It's not that we will preserve and conserve and shut away our biodiversity in one corner and we will develop in a different corner. And I think that's what Guyana has been advocating for, including through its sort of global leadership as a low carbon development country. The same approach is needed when it comes to biodiversity. Sustainable use of biodiversity, bringing into the conversation, including the agricultural community, the communities that are the custodians of that same biodiversity, is going to be vital for our success on any biodiversity agenda, including that of the Alliance and, of course, the Kunming-Montreal Global Biodiversity Framework. And I can't think of a better global leader to show us the way than Guyana. And that's why FAO is so committed, not just to the Alliance, but to the summit and its follow-up.
Zahidi further re-emphasized the importance of agriculture and its crucial link to the preservation of biodiversity.
Biodiversity and agriculture are simply inseparable. Biodiversity is, of course, the basis of agricultural production. It's essential for food security. It's essential for nutrition. Or if you look at it the other way, the loss of biodiversity would lead to reduction in productivity, availability, quality of food. So these two issues are absolutely inseparable. I think many of us are aware that biodiversity is providing these sort of critical ecosystem services for agricultural production, whether it's water and climate regulation or pest control or pollination. I mean, importantly, pollination is one that I think resonates with a lot of people. We simply can't grow food and crops without pollinators like bees, birds, and bats. Over a third of our food is entirely dependent on these pollinators, and that's, of course, biodiversity.
The FAO has been a crucial partner in helping Ghana along the path of achieving its global biodiversity goals. When we return, APNU says it's ready to roll. RB Norton unveils plans for People First policies as the party wraps up its manifesto.
Fuel it up and drive, super 95. Tune up, fuel it up and drive, super 95. Tune up. Protect your fuel system, boy. High mileage and performance, boy.
Guy Oil's Super 95 gasoline gives you more reasons to drive and is available at 56 service stations nationwide. For affordable price, high performance, and high mileage, choose Guy Oil's Super 95 gasoline.
Fuel it up and drive.
Welcome back. APNU's manifesto is complete. The party leader says it's product of 4 years of citizen engagement, and it's almost time to launch. A Partnership for National Unity, APNU, is set to launch its manifesto soon. The party today announced the conclusion of the document. Party leader and presidential candidate Orbie Norton told Ignite News that the manifesto is a compilation of measures following continuous engagement with citizens over a 4-year period.
In preparing our manifesto, time was invested in discussing and integrating the various positions of the coalition partners. Additionally, our manifesto has also benefited from the advice of experts. The manifesto is intended to ensure the essentials of our people-centered development strategy, as well as our approaches to economic development, managing our oil wealth, eliminating poverty, guaranteeing each household a livable income, creating a comprehensive social protection system, providing top-class social services, building better communities, meeting the UN Sustainable Development Goals, and protecting our territorial integrity, among other areas.
Norton said the coming weeks will see more engagements with the citizens as the party shares the people-centered policies that seek to put more resources from the oil wealth into the hands of the Guyanese people. Representative of the People's Progressive Party civic candidate list, Dr. Doggy, says there's no guarantee the current cabinet will remain unchanged if the party is re-elected. He was at the time responding to a question posed by a reporter during his weekly press briefing at Freedom House on Thursday afternoon. The Vice President addressed key issues surrounding cabinet selection and government efficiency, emphasizing a results-driven approach for the upcoming term.
You have to look at performance. In my view, performance, suitability, skill, people skill, a whole range of factors go into this. Having been there and chosen the cabinet several times myself. So these are important metrics that you use. And I expect that they will also be used in selecting the cabinet in the next term.
He explained, however, that when it comes to government efficiency, that does not necessarily mean the creation of new ministries.
A lot of what could result in that, but it's not our intention to grow the number of ministries. It is to ensure that work is done more effectively in a different way so that we can better serve the citizens of the country.
The General Secretary added that this may necessitate some reorganization, while clarifying that it may not mean just physical reorganization, but also reorganization of workloads. Hence, he noted the delivery tools to achieve the efficiency may vastly change, and this is one of the key things the PPP will be looking at. Asked whether there is a particular ministry he's dissatisfied with, he said it's not just about a particular ministry, since there has been overall progress.
I think we've made progress in every single sector. In every single sector, we've made progress. And therefore, take for example, we moved from, when we were campaigning in 2020, the pensioners in Region 1 were saying, oh, we used to come out here, we can't get our pension, and that pension was half of what it is today per month. We can't get it, we're sent back in, etc. We started trying to get the pensions into the communities. Now we want to make sure that they don't even have to come out at all. They get it into a bank account. It's the evolution of that. So this sort of engagement, so that means new tools.
Dr. Doggy also cited possible changes in law enforcement once the government is re-elected to ensure efficiency and quality service delivery to the people of Guyana. With general and regional elections set for Monday, September 1st, the Guyana Elections Commission is reminding employers they must give workers reasonable time off to vote without docking pay or applying penalties. The reminder is backed by law, Section 81 of the Representation of the People Act. It says every eligible employee, unless voting by proxy, must be allowed to leave work during the day to cast their ballot. GCOM also notes this time off is in addition to the regular lunch hour, and workers should alert their employers in advance to make arrangements, especially if they're stationed outside their voting district on election day. Any employer who blocks, pressures, or discourages an employee from voting can be fined $65,000 or jailed for up to 6 months under Section 82 of the same Act. The Commission urges all employers to put systems in place to ensure every eligible worker can vote freely and fairly. In matters of public safety, police are investigating the death of Ron Clark, a 30-year-old taxi driver found with multiple gunshot wounds in a drain at Victory Valley, Wismar, Linden on Thursday evening. A 19-year-old construction worker discovered Clark lying motionless and raised the alarm. Clark was rushed to Linden Hospital Complex but was pronounced dead on arrival. Initial reports show Clark suffered numerous gunshot wounds, 5 to his right arm, 2 to the groin, 1 to the right hip, and 6 to the right thigh. Investigators also recovered a warhead lodged in his underwear. At the scene, police found 10 spent 9mm shell casings and a pair of blood-stained Adidas slippers. These items have been collected for forensic analysis. The street where the incident occurred runs east to west and is lined with snack bars and shops, all of which were closed at the time. The body was taken to Jetsco Funeral Home, where it awaits a post-mortem examination. Several residents have since been questioned as investigations continue. Controversial figure Bradley Sampson, better known as Dirty Doggy, has been charged with 6 offenses, including unlawful wounding and illegal firearm possession, after an alleged assault on a woman. Sampson, 36, appeared before Magistrate Faith McGusty and pleaded not guilty. He was granted $260,000 bail despite strong objections from the prosecution. The charges stem from an incident involving Ganista Fordyce, a sales rep who says she was hired by Sampson to work for the Win Party on Nominations Day. On July 15, Fordyce claimed she was underpaid, receiving just $10,000 of a promised $50,000. A heated exchange at the Square of the Revolution turned violent. Sampson allegedly kicked, punched, and struck her with a gun. The attack was captured on video and widely shared on social media. Police say Fordyce was later offered $500,000 to drop the case, allegedly by U.S.-sanctioned businessman Azrin Mohammed. He was briefly detained for obstruction but has since been released. The matter is set to return to court on August 15th. When we come back, training young talent in Berbice's booming tourism sector, and a major upgrade coming to Durban Park. Stay with us, more news after the break.
Your business is built on hard work, vision, and the drive to succeed. At GBTI, we understand what it takes to grow. That's why we offer Grow, a small business service designed to help your business expand, adapt, and reach its full potential. From new opportunities to new milestones, we're here to support you every step of the way. Grow from GBTI. Progress starts here.
You're watching Ignite News on 6 at 6. Thanks for staying with us. Tourism in Berbice has received a boost as local youth are gaining valuable leadership skills to help grow the industry. Stakeholders in the ancient county have benefited from a 2-day training program in leadership and supervisory management aimed at building capacity in the tourism and hospitality sector. The initiative was spearheaded by the Ghana Tourism Authority in collaboration with the Ministry of Tourism, Industry and Commerce. President of the Tourism Association, Randy Mangru, said the training, which saw 19 participants, many of them young people, comes at a time when Region 6 is experiencing rapid development.
We are going to be needing people to work in the hospitality sector and tourism sector, given that there are many hotels going up, many businesses coming to Region 6, and aside from that, a new stadium being built here that is going to attract a lot of tourism activities and a lot of persons traveling from abroad internationally to come here for events that will be held here. And so I am of the belief, as president of the Tourism Association, that young people is our future and that we need to invest in our human resources, and that is something this current administration has been doing over the past 5 years and will continue to do so.
Participants hailed the program not just for its content, but also for being free of cost, something Natasha Khan, a manager from Amsterdam, said made all the difference.
Having this program free of cost means everything because we have kids that we need to take care of. They're expensive. We have so many other financial responsibility in our lives, and so having education in any capacity, it's really, really helpful for us.
For 19-year-old Ebony Hart, who's visiting from Atlanta, the training was a powerful reminder of the quality of Caribbean education and the direction Ghana is headed.
Today we talked about mostly leadership. That was all of it, leadership, and we talked about how to be a leader, the difference between leading, managing, or just like supervising, what it takes to be a leader. A leader is not just a job title, it's a lifestyle, it's a mindset.
Anuradha Ganpat echoed the importance of self-discovery through training.
Some persons I was sitting among that they didn't even realize they were a leader until today at this program. So as I said, I would like to encourage other young people like myself to join more programs that will be in the near future.
With continued investment in human capital, Region 6 is preparing its young workforce for a thriving future in tourism. More programs are expected in the coming months. President Dr. Irfan Ali has reiterated plans to transform St. Stanislaus Ground in the Durban Park area into an international standard hockey facility, reinforcing the government's commitment to developing hockey across Ghana. With an investment of approximately $500,000, the government aims to create a world-class artificial pitch, aligning with international standards that favor synthetic surfaces over natural grass. During a recent meeting with national players, President Ali stressed that this project is part of a broader vision to position sports at the heart of Ghana's tourism and youth development strategy over the next 5 years. He also highlighted the importance of nurturing local talent and partnering with key stakeholders to realize this goal. The new hockey facility at Durban Park is expected to elevate Ghana's competitiveness in regional and international hockey competitions. In more sports, rain was a real winner in yesterday's Global Super League match, as downpours disrupted play and eventually forced the match to be abandoned. The Rangpur Riders won the toss after a 45-minute delay and chose to bat, but rain returned, pushing the time start back to the 90 minutes, turning the game into a 17-over contest. The Central Stags opened with spin and struck early, removing Sumaya Sarkar and Ibrahim Zadran inside the power play. Another rain interruption reduced the match further to 14 overs per side. When play resumed, Blair Tickner tore through the Riders' middle order, taking 3 key wickets. Agnes Shaw and Jaden Lennox cleaned up the rest, dismissing the Riders for just 79 runs. But before the Stags could start their chase, yet another heavy downpour sealed the match's fate. No result declared. The Rangpur Riders still moved through to the final, while the Central Stags finished third in the standings. The Duke's balls used during the first 3 tests between England and India are under scrutiny after repeated issues disrupted play. The balls, manufactured by British Cricket Balls Limited, frequently lost shape, leading to multiple replacements and delays. In response, the England and Wales Cricket Board, ECB, will collect as many of the used balls as possible and return them to the manufacturer for examination, the BBC reported. Dilip Jajodia, owner of the company, stated that the entire production process will be reviewed, including raw materials and tannery procedures. He emphasized that necessary changes or quality improvements will be implemented if required. The choice of ball in test matches is determined by the host nation. England uses the Dukes, India uses the SG, and Australia uses the Kookaburra. Despite the long-standing reputation of quality since 1760, the Duke's ball has faced criticism in recent years for losing hardness prematurely. In both county and international cricket, the ball has often softened well before the 80-over mark, making it more difficult for bowlers to take wickets. A softer ball reduces bounce and movement, leading to fewer catches and making it easier for batters to score. Bowlers have voiced concerns that the diminishing quality of the Dukes is affecting the competitiveness of matches. Still ahead, TNT locks down as prison crime ring is exposed. Plus, Suriname makes history. Back in a moment. Welcome back. Trinidad and Tobago has declared a state of emergency as authorities move to crush a criminal network inside its prison. The country is now under a state of emergency as authorities move to dismantle a dangerous criminal network operating from inside the nation's prison system. The decision follows a formal recommendation from Police Commissioner Alistair Guevara, who cited intelligence revealing a coordinated plot by inmates and outside operatives, targeting police, prosecutors, and prison staff. Officials say the network is highly organized, with encrypted communication enabled by smuggled mobile phones and funding from violent crimes like kidnappings, armed robberies, and extortion. A threat response group has been activated, and high-risk inmates are being strategically relocated to disrupt the network's command structure. Despite the seriousness of the threat, no curfew has been imposed. The Caribbean has welcomed another woman to its circle of national leaders. Dr. Jennifer Girling-Simons, a medical doctor and former parliamentary speaker, was sworn in on Wednesday as the new president of Suriname, CARICOM's only Dutch-speaking member. Her inauguration makes her the fourth currently serving female head of government in the region. Joining me monthly of Barbados, Kamala Prasad Bisesar of Trinidad and Tobago, and Anguilla's Cora Richardson Hodge. Observers say it's an unprecedented moment, with women also holding ceremonial leadership posts across the Caribbean, like Barbados President Sandra Mason, Dominica Silvani Burton, and several governors and governor-generals. Girling-Simons rose to the presidency after Suriname's May 25th elections ended in a deadlock, with no party securing the two-thirds parliamentary majority needed to form government. Voters, frustrated by inflation and the IMF-backed austerity program, rejected the incumbent party, despite it winning the most votes. Following the vote, a coalition of 6 parties selected the president. The ceremony was attended by regional diplomats and international partners, including Venezuela's Vice President and Guyana's Prime Minister, Mark Phillips. In international news, the United States is dialing back on democracy talks overseas. A new directive from Secretary of State Marco Rubio bars U.S. diplomats from commenting on the fairness or legitimacy of foreign elections unless there's a clear and compelling foreign policy reason. An internal cable sent July 17, seen by Reuters, says future U.S. statements should focus solely on congratulating winners and highlighting shared interests, not questioning electoral integrity. The move marks a sharp shift from decades of U.S. foreign policy that championed free and fair elections as a democratic value. It echoes President Trump's May speech in Riyadh, where he slammed what he called Western interventionists and said Washington will now prioritize strategic partnerships over democratic preaching. And that's all for this edition of Ignite News on 6 at 6. For more stories, visit ignitenews.com or follow us on social media. Thanks for watching. I'm Rihanna Nikram. See you next time for more Ignite News.